Hi guys. No, I'm not done playing with this set. I'm not going to be done. Okay, so I used an old, oh, did I put it away? No, here it is. This is an old Cuttlebug embossing folder. What do they call this? Diamond plating, right? It's used in like toolboxes and stuff like that. And I used some of the Spellbinders mirror card, the silver mirror card, and ran that through. Mirror silver cardstock, okay? And so I have this beautiful background, and I'm just going to glue that down. And then I have all those glimmer pieces that, remember, didn't foil so well for me. Well, I used my scan and cut, and I cut those out. So I have all these extra tools now, and I thought, well, let's put them on this background. It'll kind of look like a messy drawer of tools, right? I have this Nailed It sentiment that we're going to use, and I'm just using art glitter glue because it dries pretty quickly. So yeah, we're just going to take these random pieces. Again, they've already been glimmered. Ran them through the scan and cut. You can color them if you want, but I have orange, I have gold, I have, I think, blue. So I'm just going to kind of throw these all around. It looks like my tool drawer already. And this is how simple this is going to be. So don't don't discard your pieces that maybe didn't come out the way you wanted them to, because this is a perfect way to use up some of those extra pieces. It doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, I didn't put glue on the handle. Same thing with any extra, any extra pieces you make through the process. Use the extra pieces. Like, don't just, like, if you have the dies, don't just throw them out, because, listen, we can very easily cover this sheet with all these fun kind of lost tools. That's what it reminds me of. And we'll make it work, right? So I have these saws, and that's what started, is these saws didn't foil so well. Well, I can just use the handle, right? I can cut that bottom part off. My little pliers here. Cut a little bit, but same thing. I can just glue the pieces on there and then cut off the extra. think I want to frame that before we put it in because it's going to get lost. But I think that looks pretty good. I think I have that filled up pretty nicely. All right, so I'm going to put a block on that just to help that glue adhere to that slick surface of that mirror card. Okay, and then while it's drying, we can move our extra tools over here. We have plenty left that we could do another card. And then for the Nailed It sentiment, I think I'm going to bring in the die plates from the stamp set. So this is our glimmer plate. So these are all the tools that were foiled and I cut out with my scan and cut. There's the Nailed It sentiment. It is 2 separate pieces. And then the stamp set is called a Cut Above the Rest stamp set. And it comes with these little dies. And they're kind of like little label dies. So since we already have our sentiment, we can frame this off. We'll put the Nailed It in there, then we'll do the wood grain and we'll cut out the wood grain, okay? And we'll just use that same glimmer sentiment instead of the stamped sentiment. Okay, so let's move this over here. Let's bring in some wood grain for this piece. We'll bring in, that's too short. Okay, we'll have some black for the border. That'll look good. That. And I think that'll be fine. And this I will cut out of vellum. Okay, so let me bring my platinum in here and let's die cut all of this. So to die cut, we need our universal platform. We have platform A and platform B. We're going to use platform C, which is our base cutting plate. And we're going to cut a little piece of vellum. Okay, so that's the first label die. There's our vellum. Now for this, we have to cut out the wood piece before we can emboss it. So we're going to cut that out. Okay, so now we have have that piece cut out. And we will emboss that. And then I do want, oh no, you know what? We're going to leave the black piece off. I think we're okay. All right, so now we need to emboss. So to emboss this, we need the rubber mat. And I'm putting it on the back side so that this pushes up. So to do the embossing, we have our A plate, our B plate, our paper, our die, and then we have our rubber embossing mat, which goes over top of it. And that's going to press it, or does it go down? Yes, this goes face up. And it should press into our rubber mat. And then our cutting plate goes on top. Okay, let's see if we can get that. That is way too thin. That is not going to emboss. What else do I need? Let's try 2 cutting plates. Okay, 2 cutting plates, rubber mat, and top plate. That might be too thick. Let's see. Oh, that's too thick. I think I have to use the D plate. Oh, read the instructions, Nance. I know, I can hear you guys yelling at me. Calm down. Calm down. Okay. How to emboss. Okay, A plate, B plate, embossing mat, E, and adapter plate. Okay, I was sort of halfway there. Okay, A plate, B plate. Embossing, paper, rubber embossing mat. Stop pushing my paper out of the way. Okay, D plate. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, there we go. That should work. Oh, I feel a little bit of pressure. Under pressure. Okay, here we go. Did that work? Oh, it didn't emboss it enough, so I'm going to use the shim, and I think that's what I did yesterday too. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do A plate, B plate, rubber embossing mat. I'm going to press this down into it. Then I'm going to use the shim and the D plate. So we're pressing it down instead of upwards. And we should hopefully have better results this time, now that I've followed the directions. Static. Well, it's there, but it's very faint. Can you guys see that? It's very faint. So what are we going to do? Oh, look, my ink transferred onto my mat. That's like really old ink too. Pigment ink. Voila. It's gone. Okay. I'm going to leave that embossed the way that it is. However, I do want to bring attention to it. So, to do that, I'm going to grab my blending brush and just a little bit of ink. Not a lot. Going to grab my blending mat. And so it does have that wood grain impression, but it's really faint and kind of hard to see. So I'm going to take some Over Coffee ink from Catherine Puller, a blending brush, and just kind of highlight that it's wood grain. Doesn't need to be perfect. Again, it's wood, so you want it to be kind of organic looking. There we go. Now it is ready to be assembled. So now we have our Nailed It sentiment. Which we're going to put on this vellum. And then we're going to put that on there. And then we have our tools. Now my tools are dry, so I can kind of cut off the excess here. Okay, so there's our cool tool background. I'm going to glue all of this together. Doo, doo, doo. Now for the vellum, I'm just going to put that streak of glue in the middle on our wood plank. And that looks really good like that, but it's not good enough for me. I went through my stash of brads, and I've been using brads a lot with this set because, you know, brads look like rivets and bolts and nails and things like that, right? In my mind, they do. So I have brought out my little brad box here. And I have, from a stamp show, these little brads that have like screw heads on them. So I think I will use 2 of these. Now I'm going to be going to stamp shows and looking for more of these. I mean, you could use little black ones and just pretend those are nails. Or silver ones. Maybe we'll do silver ones instead of these. Maybe I'll save these for one of the other sentiments. Yes, I think I will go with these smaller. These are kind of medium size. We'll do these 2 smaller ones. There we go. Let's do that. Okay, so these are really easy to do. We haven't attached this yet, so we're just going to poke a hole through here. And if you have a hole punch, you can do that too. Let me grab just a sponge. Oh, that looks cute. And the silver goes well with the diamond plate too. Look at that. And then if you wanted to be even more extra, of course, I think we should pop it up. You knew I was going to say that though, right? You definitely did. If you've been watching my videos, you know, I'm addicted. I'm addicted and I just can't get enough. All right. Spellbinders foam squares. Keep everything popped up. And now I turned what would have been, you know, kind of grungy glimmer panels that I just wasn't feeling into a nice toolbox card. So I have my diamond plate. Again, that's an older plate. I don't even know if it's available anymore. I have my wood grain background there, and you can definitely see that wood grain up close. I know the camera's not picking it up. I have my vellum. I have my Nailed It Glimmer Sentiment and all my tools. And nothing went to waste. So there you go. Again, we used the Spellbinders glimmer plate, which is called Nailed It. We used the sentiment dies from the Cut Above the Rest sentiments. We used the glimmer, obviously, and glimmer foils, and we used some Spellbinders white foam, large foam tape to hold that up. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, post them down below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would click down here and hit the subscribe button and notifications for when I post new videos. If you're interested in purchasing any of these products and supporting me, the link will be down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.